Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Spanish tragedy, and today we get to hear from Lorenzo in Act 3, Scene 4. So Lorenzo just recently coordinated everything so that Pedringano would kill Cerberine because he's convinced that Hieronymo knows that Lorenzo and Balthazar were responsible for killing Horatio, which Hieronymo does because he found a letter written in Bellimperia's blood by her implicating Balthazar and Lorenzo. But Lorenzo, in order to try to squash that, is getting rid of his accomplices. So he had a messenger tell Cerberine to meet the king here, and then he told Pedringano that Pedringano should be there, and he was supposed to kill Cerberine, but then he also got the king's watchman to go and essentially watch that so that Pedringano would be apprehended at the end, and then he'll be dead because, three people can keep a secret if two of them are dead. So Lorenzo, at the top of Act 3, Scene 4, he's feeling very smart, but he goes to Balthazar and he's like, I'm a little bit worried. I think that Hieronymo knows what we did. And Balthazar's like, how could he possibly know? And he's like, well, I think that somebody told him and he knows what's going on. And then a messenger comes in and they're like, so, what happened? And the messenger says, Cerberine is dead. And they're like, oh my goodness. Both of them are like, oh my goodness, who killed him? And the messenger is like, well, somebody's been arrested for it. It's Pedringano. And Lorenzo is like, did Pedringano kill Cerberine? And the messenger kind of confirms that that's the implication. But Lorenzo turns to Balthazar and is like, your Highness, your Majesty, you have to make sure that justice is served for this, for Pedringano killing Cerberine. And Balthazar, who didn't know that this was all Lorenzo's plot, is like, yeah, no, he's gonna get what's coming to him. And he leaves, and Lorenzo is on the stage by himself for a moment, and he says, why so? This fits our former policy. And thus experience bids the wise to deal. I lay the plot, he prosecutes the point. I set the trap, he breaks the worthless twigs, and sees not that wherewith the bird was limbed. Thus, hopeful men that mean to hold their own must look like fowlers to their dearest friends. He runs to kill whom I have hoped to catch, and no man knows it was my reaching fetch. 'Tis hard to trust unto a multitude, or anyone, in mine opinion, when men themselves their secrets will reveal. Boy? At the very end, a messenger comes in, that's why he says boy. But what he's saying here is essentially, mwahahahaha. That's basically what this speech is. He's feeling very clever because he set the whole thing up, and now it's Balthazar that's going to initiate the punishment, and it can't be traced back necessarily to Lorenzo. He thinks that he's clean and clear of this because, Cerberine was there to meet a king, and Pedringano, he's a murderer, so he's going to say whatever it is that he's going to say to try to get it out of it and not get punished and whatever. So he's feeling real good about himself at this and thinking that he's a puppet master of everyone around him and how beautiful this is that, he set this up and now they're running to go catch the guy that did the thing that he set up. So he's feeling very smart. And then this messenger comes in. He's like, what are you? And the messenger's like, I have a letter for you from Pedringano, who's in jail. And he's like, so Pedringano's in jail? And he's like, yeah, here's a letter. And tomorrow we're going to get to hear the contents of that letter. So I will see you then. Mwah.